You become what you believe, so believe bigger. There comes a moment in every person's life when the world asks one question: who do you think you are? Not politely, not with patience. It won't wait for your confidence to grow. It won't hand you permission. It demands it with fire in its breath and storms in its eyes. Who do you think you are? And your answer, it will shape everything, because this world doesn't give you what you want. It doesn't give you what you hope for. It gives you who you are and who you believe yourself to be. So if your belief is small, your life will be small. If your dreams are fragile, your reality will shatter under pressure. But if your belief is unshakable, if you walk like your vision is already real, the world moves, mountains shift, doors open. You become what you believe. So believe bigger. Every empire began in the invisible. Every great life was first built in the mind, brick by thought, stone by belief. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." He didn't build an automobile empire because he had access to money or fame. He built it because he saw a future where the average man could move freely. And he believed in it when no one else did. Edison failed 10,000 times before the light bulb. 10,000. How many people give up after 10? But Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's not talent. That's not luck. That is belief in motion. Let me be clear. This is not about wishful thinking. This is not about staring in the mirror and whispering lies. This is about training the mind to see the invisible and hold it as real until the world bends to catch up. Because belief isn't a luxury. It is the foundation of all creation. Without belief, action has no fuel. Discipline has no fire. Vision has no shape. A man with no belief is a wanderer. He might work hard, but he builds someone else's dream. He might talk big, but his soul is quiet. He might move fast, but he has no direction. But the man who believes, he walks differently. He moves with certainty, even in the dark. Especially in the dark. Clarity is power, and most people are unclear. Not because they're incapable, but because they never dared to define their life beyond what they've seen. They were told to be realistic, told to play it safe, told to stay inside the lines. But no great life was ever painted in grayscale. Steve Jobs didn't ask what was realistic. He asked what was necessary. He looked at a world disconnected and imagined elegance in every hand. His clarity made the future inevitable. That's what belief doesn't guess. It knows. It holds a vision so strongly that nothing can shake it. Not failure, not rejection, not time. You don't need to know how. The how will reveal itself to the one who holds the why with unwavering intensity. Clarity turns the invisible into structure. Belief turns structure into destiny. Purpose is the oxygen of belief. Without purpose, you'll chase money until it breaks you. You'll chase validation until it betrays you. You'll chase pleasure until it numbs you. But with purpose, everything becomes a tool. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every no becomes fuel. Every day becomes a mission. Look at Lincoln. Depression, failure, public ridicule. He faced it all. But his purpose was bigger than his pain. He believed in a nation united. And that belief outlasted bullets, elections, and doubt. You don't need an easy life. You need a reason. A reason that wakes you up. A reason that makes fear irrelevant. A reason that makes quitting impossible. If belief is the soil, purpose is the seed. But it must be watered daily with discipline. Discipline is belief in action. Most people wait for motivation. They wait to feel like it. They wait for stars to align. But belief doesn't wait. It builds. Day by day, brick by brick, before the world sees, before anyone claps, before there's any proof. Discipline is waking up early. When the bed is warm, discipline is showing up when results are invisible. Discipline is reading when you could be scrolling, running when you could be resting, working when you could be watching. Not because you're forced, but because you believe the future you're building is real. Disney was fired from a newspaper job for lacking imagination. Imagine that. But his discipline didn't flinch. He kept sketching, kept creating, kept seeing what others could not. His belief was louder than rejection. And now, the world calls him a genius. Not because he had an easier path, but because he refused to let go of the invisible. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they give up too soon. Success doesn't go to the most talented. It goes to the most resilient. The ones who adapt. The ones who pivot. the ones who keep going after the applause dies and the lights dim. Resilience is belief under pressure, the kind that takes hits and stands taller, the kind that laughs at the odds, the kind that stares into uncertainty and says, let's go. You can read every book, you can attend every seminar, but until you learn how to stand when life knocks you down, you don't own your belief, you rent it. True belief is tested, in silence, in struggle, in failure. And if it breaks, it wasn't belief, it was convenience. But when it holds, when it grows underweight, then you've become the kind of person who doesn't chase success. You attract it because now the world knows you are serious. Gratitude is the secret amplifier. It doesn't make you soft, it makes you focused. Because when you're grateful, you're not chasing from lack, you're building from abundance. Gratitude says, I have enough to begin, I am enough to continue, and I will become enough to finish. It aligns your frequency with growth, and people feel it. The right doors feel it. The right rooms feel it. Most people walk around with the spirit of complaint. They expect failure. They speak doubt. They worship limits, and what you speak, you summon. But gratitude turns limitation into leverage. It takes whatever you have, no matter how small, and turns it into a seed. Gratitude says, this is fuel. Even the pain, even the rejection, even the waiting. Action is belief made visible. This is where most people stop. They believe but they don't act. They dream but never move. But if belief is real, it demands to be expressed. Through risk, through labor, through decisions. Do not confuse busyness with action. Do not confuse motion with momentum. Real action feels different. It costs something. It scares you. It stretches you. But it's the only way to prove to yourself and the world, I am who I say I am. Do not wait for the perfect moment. There is none. Do not wait for permission. You already have it. Do not wait for signs. You are the sign. You were not born averaged at the moment you arrived in this world. You were packed with potential, undeniable, unmatched, and unlimited. But somewhere along the way, someone handed you a smaller dream, a smaller mirror, a smaller voice, and you believed them. You believed the teachers who told you to settle. You believed the boss who said you weren't leadership material. You believed the friend who laughed at your goals. You believed the past that tried to trap you. But here, this belief works both ways. If you can believe in failure, you can believe in greatness. If you can believe in your limits, you can believe in your power. It's the same muscle. It's the same mind. The only question is, which direction will you aim it? The world does not reward the best. It rewards the bold. It rewards those who have the courage to see what isn't yet there and act like it already is. To step into the room like they belong even before they're invited. To speak the dream out loud even if their voice shakes. The people you admire didn't wait for certainty. They built it. They made belief louder than fear. They made vision stronger than doubt. And that's the edge, the unseen line that separates the many from the few. The many wait to be chosen. The few decide they're already chosen and they show up accordingly. Faith without action is fantasy, but action without belief is burnout. You need both. You need belief that ignites the fire and action that turns that fire into form. This is the dance between the seen and the unseen, inner and the outer, the mental and the physical. And once it clicks, life becomes different. Opportunities show up. People listen differently. Time bends in your favor. Why? Because you've aligned, not just with success, not just with achievement, but with the truest version of who you were always meant to become. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about removing everything that isn't truly you and believing bigger. You become what you believe, so be careful what you believe. If you believe you're unlucky, life will prove you right. If you believe no one listens to you, your silence will echo. If you believe success is for them and not for you, you will forever sabotage the door when it opens. But if you believe you are powerful, if you believe your ideas matter, if you believe you can create, evolve, build, stretch, lead, and dominate, then life will rise to meet you there, not overnight, but inevitably. Because belief, backed by action, is a force that cannot be denied. Let the weak say, I am strong. Let the unseen become unstoppable. Let the doubted become undeniable. Let the unheard rise with volume and purpose. This is your life, and the size of it will always reflect the size of your belief. Do not shrink to fit the comfort of others. Do not downplay your vision because others can't see it. Do not ask for permission to live at full capacity. You weren't born to survive, you were born to sculpt reality with thought, discipline, and sheer will. The future doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the bold. It belongs to the man who wakes up with vision before the world opens its eyes. To the woman who moves like destiny is watching, because it is. To the leader who understands that before the crowd believes in you, you must believe in yourself. That belief, it must be unreasonable, unshakable, unbreakable. You become what you believe, so believe bigger than they say you should. Believe bigger than what your bank account reflects, bigger than your current circle, bigger than your history, because what you believe is what you build. You want wealth, you want freedom, you want power, purpose, influence. Then first see it, then believe it, then act like it's already yours. Because this world doesn't move for those who wait. It moves for those who decide, those who declare, those who walk like kings before the crown, like queens before the throne, like giants before the victory. But believe in yourself so deeply that the world has no choice but to follow. And when it does, when the doors open and the lights hit and the success lands, don't be surprised. You already saw it because you believed it, and now you've become it.